it's me. So I have built this database in Flutter using Dart, which is C++ derivative. So basically, it looks like this. I loaded in Chrome, and I'll explain how to build and launch this. So basically, the landing screen, not too much, but there are 3 things we can do. We can add a song, album, artist, or label. So let's say we want to add an artist. Let's say it's the Deerhunter. Well, first off, I'll show you that the Deerhunter doesn't exist. So we have 2 different searches. We have this one, which is going to show us everything of a specific category. So right now, artists, we only have Between the Buried and Me and Slipknot, right? So I go through here. I want to add an artist, the Deerhunter. They are on the 3rd label because the other 2 are taken, and they are the 3rd artist. Do that, and see all artists. Now we have the Deerhunter, and then from these pages where it shows everything, we can also click on them and edit them. So do that, edit, cool, and then we can get rid of that again. Cool. So that's that. That's the same thing for all albums, artists, Colors, Great Misdirect, and Slipknot. Colors and Great Misdirect are both Between the Buried and Me. So they have the artist and the label ID is 1. And they are class 1. Class 1 means it's an LP or a full-length album. Class 2, number 2 would be an EP, like a shorter length album. And then album ID is the first album, and then the track list ID should be the same. So we got that. Artist 1, but it's the art and the album and the track list of 2. And same 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, and then the songs, the same thing here. And then labels. Metal Blade, I believe, was for like 4 or 5, 3 or 4 of the Between the Buried and Me albums. Cool. And then we want to see all our songs. Cool, here. And now I have these links here for the YouTube videos for each song. And then now we have the refined search, which is where most of my time was spent. So this is basically just like a modular just SQL query generator. So it kind of prompts me. So if I want to search if I want to get all of every album, if we're not doing a where, leave it blank. And if we're not using a join, we can keep this on normal search. We search this, so we're searching every album. We're getting everything from the album. Here, we have album ID 1. We have the names, colors. It's 2007, and all that listed like that, nice and pretty. So say if we want to do another search, say we want all of the album names from album. Sorry, not album names, song names. Yeah, album names from the album. I crash. Why did I crash? Oh, it's because I put an S in there. It's album name from albums. Nice. I'm so smart. Cool. So besides a little bit of formatting, so we got the album name, we got colors. I couldn't figure out how to get rid of this last quotation mark, but it serves its purpose. So I got all that. Now, we want to do wheres. So we want to search an album name from the table albums, where, so we got the first 2 albums are Between the Buried and Me. Say we want the 3rd album, where artist ID equals 2. Because Slipknot was the 2nd artist that I put in there. There we go. Album ID Slipknot. So if we want to do that, do all where the artist ID is 2. Now we have this entire album with all of its information kind of thrown in there. So if we want to do, we can do more than one parameter as well. If we want to do Album name, release date. We could do that as well. Yeah, so now we can throw this bad boy in high gear, an advanced search, which means we're going to be joining. So say I want to see an album name from album joining with artist using artist ID, where artist ID equals 1, but we want to do album name, but also we want artist name. So we're gonna get the album name and then the name of the artist that created that album. So now we got album name colors between the bear enemy, and since we said where the artist name is ID is 1, which is the ID for between the bear enemy, that's why that showed up. But if we wanted to do 2, that would still not. We can do the same thing. Do song.song name. We want to do that with a song. And also let's do song.song link, because we want to see that. Where album, the album IDs are, where the album ID equals 1. So 1 is the colors album. So now we have album is colors, the song name that we have on here is White Walls, and we have the link here. Where, let's see, let's add another song. Let's say Informal Gluttony. It's from Beatspam. It is the 4th song. It's the first album. I don't have the link on me right now, and it's the first album. So we do that. So now if we want to do this search again, we have that there. We have album name, colors, we have now White Walls, Informal Gluttony, and we have the link, if I had that copy, would also be there. And I don't have the video working because it is currently 10:15, and it would probably require at least 3 or 4 more hours of work just to figure out how to get the video player working, not just doing that, because originally I was just planning on, like, based off of time, I was going to do this and then like have you copy the link from here, and then you paste it. I was originally going to do this, paste the video link there. I don't even know what video that is. Paste the video link there, and then it would bring you to another page that would play the video, but unfortunately I did not have the time for that. But I'm really proud of the way I did this. So I'm going to show you that. I'm assuming you've never touched Flutter before. So basically, we just go through here, and it sends us to the landing screen, which is here. And basically it creates a page, and then this icon button right here, the leading icon button is this right here, and then so it's app bar, and after the app bar we have the floating action button, which is this down here. What would you like to add? And then I basically have a button for each option, and every time I press the option it'll bring me to a separate screen where I can edit whatever it is, but I'll get there in a second. And then after that, the button, we finally have the body, which as of right now doesn't have anything except for this small button that shows us the refined search, which is where we have everything. So basically we'll have a column, basically just bringing everything down. We have the buttons, and we have the text form fields where we put the parameters in if we need it. Drop down for the table selection, because I feel like that'd be easier instead of just typing it in. Same thing here with the extra parameters. where we have what we wanted to do if we want to use where in our query. Drop down for another for advanced search, whether or not we're going to be using a join. And if we are using the advanced search, what table are we joining with? We're going to have another drop down because it's the same amount of tables. And then the join parameters. And then I have that button at the end, the search button. So once that's pressed, it takes all of the controllers, which every time you have a drop down or like a text form field, it has a controller that saved the information. And then you'll officially save it in the long-term variables here. We have them here. That's this. So now we do this, which is a query result. We're doing database helper, and I'll show you that in a second. But so basically, when we go up to here, we want to go to, we're pressing this, but let's say we want to add a song, right? So in here we have the button, an elevated button, song. It brings us to the song screen. Song singular screen is the screen where we can edit everything. So we have, it's another page, and we set up a whole bunch of the controllers that I just talked about for all the fields. So when we're adding a song, we have all of these, the name, ID, song ID, like the artist, song, and then art ID, because originally when I was doing the video player, I was also going to have the album art show, track list ID, song link, and then album ID. So that's just here. And basically, this is the same page that you get when you click on something, but here we have something. If there is information, or if the song exists, then we're going to say we're adding a song. But since this song already exists, we're going to say that we're editing a song. And then it's just like all the form fields and everything for song ID and everything. It's just 2 columns, so I split them up that way. That's why it's kind of, the edit's kind of weird in some places, and it's higher up or farther down. And then, like I said before, with the save, the edit button, I guess, it'd be here. It's saving all of them when it's pressed. And if it's not, and if the song name is empty, we need the song name. Therefore, we will not actually save it, because if we didn't add the song name, then that's a required field in our database, because we can't have a song with no title. And the same thing here. So we're gonna have, this is us saving it into a song model, which we can see here. And this is the same thing for album label and artist. So I'm just gonna show you the song because it's the exact same thing. For the most part, just besides variables. So we go into the song model, we go here, song screen. This, I want song screen. Cool. So here, and then the song model is our actual data structure. So we have the class song, and each song is going to have these things, and if it has a question mark after it, that means it's nullable. And then we have the constructor here, requires the song name and song ID, and then this is basically, this is converting it, this is what we would do to save it, to bring it from the database. We would do it from JSON, and then to save it to the database, we would do it to JSON. So we do that, and once we're there, we have the database helper, which is a really cool, funky thing. So this is what this is like. This is the functionality of the database. So whenever we create the database, we do this, and we execute. We create all 4 tables. And then on upgrade, we'll do the same thing just to make sure that the tables do exist. Because that was something I did have issues with for a while. I was changing something in here, but I had to reinstantiate the entire application to update the database schema. So now I have a function here that's search, and this is what we're doing after we do this. After we hit search here, this is what this function's doing. So it takes all the variables from here. It is sent there. So we get that, and then we await the database. So basically we're getting that. We're ready to be able to look at it. And then we're searching it, and I have 4 possibilities if we are using advanced search, so if we're joining, and if not, and as well as if we are using an extra variable such as, in this case, where's, right here. So basically, we have this raw query, which will actually execute the SQL code, which is what this is. So basically, if we are this one, we are not searching with advanced search, so we're not joining, and here we are not using a where condition. So this line is going to do select wherever, so select album name from album, and it's going to run that code, and then the select return is going to be the variable that this returns. It is a list. So it's going to return all of the things that it's just going to return everything in JSON format that this SQLite query returns. And then we have, again, the same thing for everything. We have 4 functions. We have add album, we have add, update, delete, and get. It's the same thing for everything. So obviously we're adding, we are inserting, so it's the same thing, db.insert, just like we were doing the db raw query. So we're inserting to the table album, and then we're inserting the album, which is going to be this model to JSON, and it's going to be adding that to the database. And then the same thing, we're updating it. It's the exact same thing, except for we're going to only update it with the here we're only going to be touching the ones with the album ID that we have put into this field, because we know that this already exists. So we're going to see all songs that we hear. So song ID 1, if we change this white walls happy face, it's only going to change the songs that have the song ID of 1, and obviously for all of the ID checks, this one is going to be album ID. If I was changing the colors album name, it would only do that to the ones that have album ID of 1. And the same thing for delete, it'll only delete the ones that have the album ID of 1. And then the get albums, that returns the list of all of the albums. So it's query, album, pretty self-explanatory. And I have that for everything else, all the other 3 data types, the other tables. And so we go here, sorry, I gotta find where I was doing. Query results, yes. So, say we were searching something, in the landing page, we were searching something, and we hit everything, we enter everything. Once we are finished, join parameters, I gotta find it. This here, it's going to push. This is how you basically go to a different screen, is navigator.push, and then going backwards is navigator.pop. It's just a stack. So we do this. So we're going to search results screen, which has the parameter of search result, and this is going to be the query result that we have here from the database search function that I just showed you. It goes to this query result, and then we're sending it through here, and now it's going to be renamed to search result when we go here. So this is the search result screen, that we were just sent to. These are all just unused stuff that I haven't gotten rid of yet. So basically, I scrub the JSON formatting out of it, basically by splitting it. This function will take a string. It'll take a string, which is this here, so we're encoding it from JSON to a string, which is the search result. And then we're going to split it. Basically, we're just getting rid of this thing, and then everything that has this thing will become an entity beforehand and then afterwards, and then it just splits everything into even pieces. And we do the same thing. We get rid of all the JSON formatting. And then we are left here. We have split input 7, which is the last one. Now we have 2 lists, which split originally, it makes it into a list of things, and then I changed it to a string so I can split it again. For this last one, I'm going to keep it as a list because we have finished cleansing the string, basically, of the search results. And then we're going to have two lists, columns and rows, for obvious reasons. So basically, whenever we go here, so if I see down at this very bottom, we have colors, informal, gluttony, ASDF, and album name, song link. This set of stuff right here, this third line from the bottom is this is the scrubbed version of the database query result. And since we see that this here, we always have these brackets at the beginning and at the end, we can ignore those. This is going to be position 0 and then position length -1. So now we know that the columns are always going to be on the odd number intervals of split input 7, because 0, 1, album name, 3 is song name, 5 is song link, and then we know that the even numbers excluding, so that the even numbers are going to be the rows, which are going to be which is the actual information. So now we have split this up. We have a list full of the columns, and we have a list full of the row information. Or in this case, it's going to be colors, informal, gluttony, ASDF. So this is the song link, this is the song name, and this is the album name, right? So basically, we have not this. We go to the body. So basically, we just have a list builder, which lets you build an undefined amount of things. So that way you don't have to worry about having a builder that needs to know how many things you are building before it does it. So we're making a list view. So it's going to go up and down. The item count is going to be the search result dot length. It's just the search result is it is what we passed into this, because that is a list, right? Because that's the raw query. We have the item builder, so it's going to build this widget, which I haven't talked about yet, which is basically anything like a button. A list view that's a widget, but you can create your own. So it's going to be query result. This is going to build a query result as many times as there is search result. So we're going to do this query result widget. So we are saying that the variable result is going to be this at index. So that's why we split it up, so I don't have to worry about incrementing the index by 2s. So this will build at an index, and every time it builds one, it'll increment the index. So now we are going to be building this at index, right? Oops. So now we have the same thing here. So we did the scrubbing here because this is where I originally did it. And this is where you split it. Did I do that here? I didn't actually do the rows there, that's why. So yeah, this is where I split it. I just did a for loop. If it's divisible by 2, then it's an even number, goes in the rows. If it's divisible by 1, it starts at 1 to get rid of the first one, and then it goes as far as is less than length minus 1 to get rid of this last one here. And then this is where so this builds a bunch of widgets. So this builds as many results as we have. So if we are searching this, we have 2 results. So this here will build 2 result widgets, right? And then once we get into that query result widget, it will have 2 rows that will build. The first one here is going to be building, so it's going to build it horizontally, and it's going to build as many columns as there are, and it's the same thing. It's going to be columns. It's going to be the text is going to be the columns index. So this is actually going to be like album name, song name, song link. That text is going to be put in there. And the same thing here, except for with rows. So now we have this, and it's selectable text for you to be able to copy paste the link, whatever. Yeah, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah, like the song screen that just lists everything. This is, so it makes the body, it's a feature builder list just because it is getting something that can change, right? So basically, like with this search results screen, it's static for an extent. So basically, we're doing this, it's coming up, this screen is coming up statically. This screen will not change because the only way for you to change it is to get rid of the screen and change it, right? Whereas with the song screen and everything, if you were able to add a song while you were on the song screen, it would automatically update. You wouldn't have to refresh the page. So that's why it's a future builder. Yada yada. So like on tap, that's where we go to the song screen to edit. But on long press, this is where we can we have the dialog to see if you want to delete something. So let's go to albums, colors. That's my favorite album. Hold on. Let's go to songs. Right. Let's go to Informal Gluttony. I don't like how it's in between. This is from colors and this is from colors. I don't like how it's not with the other colors one. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna long press it, and you want to delete it. Yep. We're gonna delete it. Cool. So now if we really want to check and make sure that it doesn't exist, so we're going to be normal searching. We're be normal searching a song name, where parameters song name, I already do a song name, song ID, where the song name equals Informal Gluttony. And it doesn't exist. I haven't been able to get around to the error throwing. But yeah, and the only reason why it's not, it crashes right now when you search for something that isn't there. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm not exactly sure, but basically it's because it is going through the builder and everything. It automatically is going to the search results screen and then going to be trying to build this stuff that doesn't exist because there is no song that is labeled Informal Gluttony. But yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. I'm going to make a separate video of explanation on how to get the repo and start this Flutter thing.